Hello everyone, Cappuccino here, and in this video we are going over 3 main points to help you stop dying as Reinhardt. As a frontline main tank, you will often find yourself the focus of enemy attacks and abilities. Following this guide will put you in a better situation to ward off and survive through better shield management, hero positioning, and situational awareness. First, let's start off with shield management. Reinhardt's shield is how he makes space and opportunities for himself and his teammates. While sometimes protecting your team, the shield is mainly used to protect you and allow you to retreat safely and protect yourself when being focused by enemies. But also as importantly, a shield allows you to safely close space on the enemy team and make an impact on the fight. So in order to maximize the impact of your shield, you want to generally be moving forward or backwards when you're holding your shield up, either taking space or retreating with your team. Avoid standing still as much as possible and just holding your shield. You want to have as much shield barrier as possible when you're in swinging range of the enemy. So when you're closing space and your shield health is being drained from enemy attacks, it's completely fine to wait around a corner for your shield to recharge to full before pushing again. Don't get impatient and push too early, because then you will find yourself without a shield a lot quicker, which increases your chance of dying. In this example, you can see I pushed a bit too early instead of waiting for the full 2000 HP. All I had to do is wait a couple more seconds for 300 more HP, which can mean the difference in a fight. You want to constantly be aware of your shield health as much as your own health. Look to the bottom left of your screen and/or monitor your shield health using visual or audio cues when it's getting low. In general, around the 500 mark is where you want to start finding cover to recharge. You want every damage blocked to have value, so communicate what you're doing with your team. At lower levels, people expect your shield to be up 24/7, and many times they will play too aggressive, expecting your shield to always be there. Communicate: when are you pushing? When are you backing up? When is your shield low, and when you plan to go around a corner and recharge your shield. Most of the time, chip and non-fatal damage is not worth shielding. In this example, it's very tempting to keep your shield up against the Orisa, but you're better off just using the payload as a shield and saving your shield for the actual battle when you start engaging and pushing in. Use shield hopping to move more quickly and conserve your shield in the process. You might take some damage, but your healers can easily heal that. To shield hop, press jump and a directional key and then hold your shield up until you hit the ground. This allows you to move faster than if you just held your shield up the entire time, because jumping preserves your movement velocity. I like to use this when I want to close distance on an enemy quickly or need to retreat quickly while I'm still open to taking some damage. So in summary, treat your shield health almost like it's your actual hit points and don't act like it's expendable at all times. If you win the shield war, that means more space for your team, which will ultimately increase your survivability. Next, let's move on to positioning. You want to recognize when to position aggressive versus passive. Keeping track of your team count is important to determine your positioning. In this case, we are up in team count, so I know I can put my shield down and start playing a lot more aggressive. On the flip side, if one or two of your teammates just got picked, you probably want to start backing up and positioning around a corner to wait for respawn. Most of the time, you want to be positioned with your team. Are they with you, or are you too far ahead? It's very easy to get too far ahead of your team, especially being the front line. You have no frame of reference. It doesn't hurt to occasionally flip your shield behind you to check to see where your teammates are. You also want to make sure to position yourself in line of sight of your healers. It's very easy to get caught up in aggression and realize you pushed around a corner where you no longer get any healing or support. You want to hug and use corners so you can easily take cover to recharge your shield or mitigate damage. Don't stand in the middle of nowhere with your shield up, even if it has full health. I made a whole tip video on this tactic, which I have linked in the top right of this video. So in summary, you want to position yourself with your team. Reinhardt should rarely play away from his team members. Also position yourself with the map architecture in order to minimize damage and have a safe area to fall back and recharge your shield. Lastly, let's focus on awareness. In terms of HP, you want to always be aware of your HP at all times. It's very easy to get caught up in fighting, swinging your hammer, especially if you have an initial Zarya bubble and healers pocketing you. However, even the strongest pockets can be overcome with enemy focus fire and abilities such as Discord. You want to constantly be monitoring your health, and around 200 to 300 health is when you want to begin putting up your shield to heal up for a few moments before engaging again. Be aware of team compositions and adapt your playstyle based off maps and heroes. Some games you'll have a Zarya, which will allow you to be extra aggressive, and other times you won't have one and you have to learn how to change your playstyle. Other games you might be solo tanking and have 3 DPS. In this case, you probably can't play as aggressive and you want to try to stay alive and allow your DPS to whittle down the team and get picks. Or maybe you're going against a Bastion. You want to make sure you have max shield before you start pushing. Think about the optimal map pathing and checkpoints throughout the map to reduce damage to your shield and slowly close space on the bunker. So in summary, stay aware of your hit points at all times. As mentioned, the main tank is the easiest target and your health can drop very quickly. Also, stay aware of enemy compositions. Adapt your playstyle and aggression as needed. I want to add one more bonus point to enhance your survivability, and that is stop initiating with charge. In most situations, the reward versus risk is not worth it. You may potentially get a pin sometimes, but it leaves your team wide open to enemy damage, and you also are very vulnerable to a myriad of crowd control abilities when charging in. You are much better off using your shield or swinging your hammer to make space in the initial fight and charging later when you see an opportunity. If you really need to charge, you should go for short charges. In closing, I want to say that playing Reinhardt can be frustrating when it seems like he is the punching bag of the team, getting slept, stunned, and hard focused. However, if there is any hero that should be absorbing damage, it should be your main tank, instead of your healer or your DPS. If you survive the enemy cooldowns and abilities, that creates opportunities for your team to capitalize on the battle with an ability advantage, and you should find more success in team fights. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Quick thanks to Spilo, a Contenders coach, for helping out this guide, and I hope to see you all in the next one.